Hello friends, today I'm going to show you what I have in my watch list for 30th September 2021. So the first stock which I have in my watch list is the Radico Khaitan Limited. Let's look into the chart of the Radico Khaitan Limited. If you see here, it created a beautiful base from here. After the breakout, it went quite a while. Then it again created a base, beautiful cup. After the breakout, it went ahead. Again, it's trying to create a base here, and pretty much I will say it's a low cheat where it's trying to create a cup completion format. And if we see here, we have a beautiful pocket pivot here, and after that it's consolidating with very low volume. If you see the average volume, it's slowly coming down. And if you see the averages, moving averages, they are all on uptrend, and it looks that it's pretty much ready for a breakout. On the breakout, it should do really, really well. Let's check the techno fundamentals of the Radico Khaitan. We'll move to the MarketSmith India website. The basic parameter, the master score is B, which is a thumbs up from the MarketSmith side that we can consider the stock. The EPS strength is really, really good. 96 is really awesome. The price to strength is 74, which is average. Still, I will say it's really good. The buyer demand is really, really awesome. The group rank is 54, which is GH average. The most important thing here is if you see the weekly chart here for the last 5 to 6 weeks, it is consolidating in a very tight range with lower volume. So, which makes it a candidate that whatever the gains it has got, it is trying to digest that. If you check the institutional holding, it has increased. If you see the EPS and the sales, they are constantly increasing. If you see the estimations, there looks really, really good for the next 3 years. So this is a thumbs up from the fundamental sides, technical sides. So the next stock in my watch list is the Tata Steel. Steel, yes, it has been on news for quite some time, which is doing really, really well. It had a great, great run up, but I think after a major gap down, it's consolidating and looks really promising. We also had a good pocket pivot here, and the box is pretty much, I will say, like a Darvas box. It's creating a box and consolidating on a very, very low volume in a very, very tight range. So let's check the techno fundamentals. There is no questions about it. The EPS looks really good. The price strength is awesome. The buyer demand is A minus, which is really, really good. And there is no question about group rank. It's 30th, so just go for it. Let's check the weekly chart here, and it again seems that it's trying to consolidate in a very, very tight range after a beautiful cup breakout. And if we see the volume has also increased on a week where it went down, but after that we see that the weeks is really, really falling. So there is not much supply in the market. Yes, the funds has sold a little bit, but the number of funds has increased. So I will say shouldn't be a big problem. The earnings and sales looks just fantastic and awesome. The estimations for next 3 years slowly going down, but I think it's a cyclical and commodities, we need to be very, very careful. It's a hit and run kind of stock. So if we are getting it, we should be really, really tight on our stop loss for sure. The third stock I have in my watch list is the IPCA Labs. So if we see here after the base, it had a good run up and it's trying to do a little bit of consolidation after a great day of this one. If we see on the next day also, it fell a little, but on a very low volume, the volume is also really very, very less. Let's check the techno fundamentals. The overall score is C, but still I will say as the EPS is good, the price strength is not that great, but the demand is really, really high. If you see the weekly chart after a beautiful double bottom, it has broke out and pretty much it is in its all-time high as per the weekly chart. On a great volume for a few weeks, it's trying to consolidate on a low volume, so I will consider it even if it is price strength is not good. The important thing to note here is there is a good demand of the shares by the institutions. The earnings are growing. Yes, on March it was a little down, but as compared to last year, it is up. But on a quad Q and Q also, it might look yearly basis it's down, but overall I will say it's still pretty decent. The estimations, yes, for next year it's average, but if we see the next 2 years, it looks really, really good. If you see the details of the institutionals holding, it's the insurance companies which have sold, but mutual funds has added, and also the FPIs added. So I will give that more weightage to the insurance companies as per my understanding. So the ROE also looks good. So it's a thumbs up from my side. The next is the GSPL, Gujarat State Petrochemicals Petronet Limited. So yes, after a run up, it's just trying to digest on a consolidation on a very, very low volume. Yes, we see a little bit of volume here which closed, but I will say still it's pretty decent, but not as good as Tata Steel and Radico. Let's check the techno fundamentals. Yes, the relative strength is a little bit lacking, but the EPS and demand is good. The overall score is B, so it's a thumbs up. Then next is the shares held by the fund. They have increased their holdings. The EPS is growing. Yes, there is impact on the sales, but I will say overall it should be fine because of the lockdowns. Even they are able to do well. The next stock is the KPIT Technologies Limited. After a good run up, there was a fall, I will say, on a decent volume, but after the fall, it has pulled back and consolidating in a tight range. So keep it in watch list. Let's check the fundamentals. Techno fundamentals. The fundamentals are not that good. It has a EPS of 55, but the price strength is really good and demand is A minus. The overall score is B. If we see the weekly chart, it really, really looks awesome, even if the EPS is not that great, but still I will consider because of the price rise. It means that there is something which is not known to the market people, maybe because of it is not reflecting in the EPS, but there is something is happening which because of which the price is going on. If you can see, yes, it has gone up on a high volume and consolidating in last 2 3 weeks in a low volume. Yes, the institutions has sold a bit, but the number of funds has increased, so which is a good sign. The up and down volume ratio is 2.4, which is really, really good. The June quarter's earnings and sales are up, so which I will give a thumbs up. The estimations for next 2 years looks really, really good. Let's see how it has gone. The mutual fund has sold a little bit, the FPS has sold a little bit, but still the holdings is pretty decent. The last stock in my watch list is the Balakrishna Industries Limited. After a good run up, it fell and creating the base of a cup. I will say the cup is pretty much ready, and we see few pocket pivots while it is going up after creating a low cheat. So the stock is in a good mode. If it breaks out, it's a good buy. Let's check the techno fundamentals. The EPS looks great. The price to strength is poor, and the buyer's demand is good. The group is not great, but as the uh, earnings and the chart looks good, I'm considering it. Here we can see on a weekly basis, it was on a tight consolidation after a good run up. Again, it is creating a small cup, I will say, so which I will consider based on a base, so which is really, really good for the stock. We can see the run up was happened on a good volume, then it consolidating on a little low volume. The shares held by the funds has increased. The up down volume is okay, I will say. The earnings has gone a little bit, but year on year it looks really good. The future predictions for the EPS estimations looks also good. So I consider the stocks. So these are the stocks in my watch list. This is only for the study purposes. This is not a buy and sell recommendation. Please consult your investment advisor before taking any positions. Thank you very much. Happy investing.